All right. What's up? Good morning. All right, let's get this set up here. Let's get it set up here. All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. NFL draft, NBA playoffs. I think there's only one baseball game on. The Yankees. They're playing the A's, and the Yankees were losing 3-1 last time I checked a few minutes ago. But the two NBA playoff games, the Knicks and the Sixers, pretty good game here. Knicks up 3, 18-15 over Philly. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cleveland, though, getting blown out on the road at Orlando. A little surprising there. Maybe not surprising that Orlando's winning. Home teams do good in the playoffs, but 61-45 the score. Orlando up over Cleveland at halftime. So what is that, a 16-point lead for the Magic? The Magic are down 2-0. So are the Sixers. So must-win games, really, for the Sixers and the Magic at home today in Game 3, both being down 2-0. We'll see. Joel Embiid's trying to fight referees, half the Knicks team. You got to love playoffs basketball. I know a lot of people bitching and moan about the NBA being soft now and load management, players sitting out and all that, but the playoffs is real basketball. 18-15, the Knicks up over the Sixers, 4.5 minutes to go. First quarter of that one. Just went to halftime in the Cleveland Orlando game, and Orlando's up big on Cleveland. NFL draft, Bears will have the first pick coming up here in a little bit. Of course, they're expected to take Caleb Williams, number 1 overall quarterback out of USC. It would be a surprise, really, if they took anybody other than that with that number one pick. Washington will have the second pick. So we'll see who they pick tonight, see where some of these college players wind up that we've been watching for the last few years. Spencer Rattler, second round, got no idea. Spencer Rattler's not going to make it in the NFL. Not good enough. Have they started the drafting yet? No, Bears are up first, and that pick hasn't been announced yet. Dick Simon Trucking, what's up, buddy? Oregon Man, Nate the Great, Scott Schrader, David. What does that say? Misty, am I reading that right? Misty Clark, I think. Yeah, good morning. Brian Fennell, if Bowers drops out of the top 10, I'll be shocked, says Brian Fennell. Thoughts on Jaden Rashada? I mean, I don't know anything about him other than that he was a highly recruited high school quarterback 2 cycles ago. I mean, he only played in, I think, 3 games last year at Arizona State. So he hasn't really done anything in college. I mean, he's not going to play at Georgia unless somebody gets hurt. But I'm glad Georgia went out and got another quarterback. You know, they only have two healthy scholarship quarterbacks. Georgia does. The starter, Carson Beck, and Gunnar Stockton, who's got no experience at all, really, are the only 2 healthy scholarship quarterbacks. The freshman they signed, Ryan Puglisi, is out. He's hurt. And no telling when he'll be back. So needed another quarterback. But he's not going to start. I mean, barring something catastrophic would have to happen or go wrong at UGA for Jaden Rashada to start any games this season. So I don't think it'll have any impact or effect on this season. Yeah. Dick Simon Trucking, thank you for hitting the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate that. Thank you for helping to support the show today. He says, good evening, Uncle Lou. We enjoy your content, sir. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'm glad y'all enjoy it. And I thank you for the super chat. That means a lot. It's hard this time of year for a small college football YouTube channel, so I appreciate the support. Sacred Grove says, come on, Vikings, any QB except Bo Nix. Well, when are the Vikings picking? Let's see. 11. They might be able to get J.J. McCarthy there. I don't know if they're picking a quarterback or not. G-Man says Vikings are going to trade up. Christian Miller staying. Must have got a bag. Well, I'm sure he's got some kind of an NIL deal, but generally speaking, Georgia doesn't pay top dollar in terms of NIL. If it was purely money, I'm sure he could have got more somewhere else. Remember when Cleveland had number 1 and picked Baker Mayfield? I do remember that. Cleveland picked a quarterback in the first round, something like 4 out of 6 years in a row or something like that. What's up, Dog Fan 79? Good to see you in here. Rice Bowl says J.J. McCarthy 63-3 as a starter since high school. Who would pass on that amount of winning? A lot of people. At least 4 or 5 teams you're going to watch in a minute are going to pass on that amount of winning. Lou, how will Army do in the American? I got no idea. Probably not very good. But I don't know. I don't really cover the group of 5, to be honest with you, outside of the top 2 or 3 teams in the group of 5 every year. The group of 5 should be its own thing. And it looks, I mean, there's some talks about that, doing their own playoff and everything. That's what they need to do. They don't really have any business being in the same division or anything as the rest of the what we used to call the Power 5. Why do so-called football fans think J.J. McCarthy is so good? It is a mystery, says Brett Rocamore. Brock Bowers to my Saints, but it'll probably be an offensive lineman, the most boring prospect to get hyped up about for the NFL draft. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a favorite NFL team, but I see what you're saying. Like, it's just not exciting to draft an offensive lineman in the first round. But left tackle especially is one of the most important positions in all of football. I mean, you have to have at least a really good offensive line to go far in the NFL. But it is hard to get excited about that. I mean, when you're a fan, you want to see your team go out and get, some hot quarterback or wide receiver or defensive back or somebody that can rush the passer or something like that. I see what you're saying. It can be kind of a letdown to watch your team draft, a left tackle or something in the first round. But a lot of first-round left tackles have had successful 15 to 20-year careers in the offense in the NFL. So, I mean, you got to have that. Juck on Bucks. What's up, buddy? He says, Lou, when's that deal with FSU and Clemson to the SEC drop? I'm not sure what you mean by drop. I mean, they're going to be in the ACC in 2024, and there's a pretty good chance they'll be in the ACC in 2025. They could be out by 2026. They may be out by 2025, but 2025 or 2026. If it's going to be 2025, you'll hear something by August of this year. Jets need to beef up their O-line, so I don't know if they take Brock Bowers, but that's all I've been hearing. 24-24. The Knicks and the Sixers tied up. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter NBA playoffs. It's halftime of the other game, Cleveland and Orlando. Orlando's up over Cleveland by 16 at the half. Yeah. Yep. Still waiting on the Bears to make it official with Caleb Williams. No pick yet. But I think we all know that's what's going to happen. Brock Bowers will be a waste at the Jets. Crap team, crap organization. Yeah, crap quarterback, too. J.J. McCarthy's not going to be a good NFL QB, in my opinion, says Els King. Nick says Roger Goodell getting booed never gets old. Yeah, it's almost just a tradition now. Like, there's not even really a particular reason they do it anymore. It's just a tradition at the draft to boo Roger Goodell every time he comes out. Sean says, my Browns don't get shit. Traded first-round pick for Deshaun Watson for the next year, I believe. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Blake? I'm good. How are you, buddy? Good to see you in here. We're going to watch the draft and a couple of NBA playoff games on, too. Will Eubank says, my red flag for Caleb Williams was he led the country in the longest time to throw the ball. He's not going to have all day playing for the Bears. Well, nobody's going to have all day playing for the Bears. Bears need a lot of help. I mean, Justin Fields didn't light the world on fire in Chicago, but he didn't have any help either up there. And whoever they draft is going to run into the same problem if they don't fix that offensive line and get some weapons on the outside. Any QB playing for the Bears better be able to run for his life, says Brett. Yeah, hasn't been good up there the last few years. Oh, that's all right, Blake. That's all right. How good do you think Texas will be this year? I think they'll be really good. Playoff potential. Anybody know if there's a way I can let YouTube know I'm poor and that their ads are useless? No. You have to watch the ads. That's how people like me get paid. YouTube is free. It doesn't cost you anything to watch this. So the least you can do is suffer through the first 5 seconds of an ad before you have to press skip, whether you're poor or not. I don't know what Lou's secret is, but he has a great radio voice. He could crack concrete. This is the secret. Believe me, I don't have some kind of great voice. I don't. It's fake. It's AI. What's up, Dexter? Hey, Lou, watch those Buckeyes represent the draft like always. Yeah, getting players drafted is not Ohio State's problem, is it? No. Yeah, they have other problems. But getting players drafted isn't one of them. I love this baseball team. Our batting lineup is scary as hell, says Big Orange Vault. You talking about college baseball? Oh, boy. Yeah, you can wake the rest of us up when the College World Series starts, because there's not a soul on planet fucking Earth who cares anything at all about regular season college baseball except for the parents of the kids who play. That's it. Do you think the Eagles will draft any Georgia players? I've got no idea. They have drafted a lot of them over the last few years, but I mean, I don't think the Eagles just intentionally draft Georgia players because they played at Georgia. I think if the Eagles have a position of need and there's a player available in their spot at their order in the draft, and he happens to be from Georgia, then maybe that's a check mark in the plus column, but I don't think they intentionally target Georgia players. Lou, stand up. It's the draft. No, I got no interest in standing up. The only chance you have of me standing up is at the end of these basketball games, if they're close to what I bet on. Then I might have to get up and start yelling and screaming and throwing and breaking shit. But I won't be getting up and doing any yelling about the draft. I don't care enough about the NFL. And I didn't bet on the draft. I think them being UGA players has something to do with it. Yeah, I don't. I don't think that. Joe Milton going first round. Okay, there it is. The dumbest comment so far of the day. Who you got in the NBA games tonight? I took both the underdogs. I took the Cavs and the Knicks. Both the Cavs and the Knicks are up 2-0, but they're both playing on the road tonight, so they were both small underdogs. The Knicks were a 5-point underdog. The Cavs were a 2-point underdog. So I took the Cavs +2. I took the Knicks +2, and then I did a little bit straight up to win, too. Why does the first pick take 10 minutes? Yeah, that's a great question. They just now are on the clock. The Bears have had 6 months to decide who they want to pick, and they're going to take this entire fucking time here. Still 4 minutes on the clock before they have to have their pick in. I complain about this every year during the NFL draft. The first round of the NFL draft takes way too long. It should not take 4 or 5 hours to do one round of the NFL draft. It's complete and just insanity. And we're probably only going to do like the top 10 picks or something. I'm not staying on here till midnight to see who the 32nd person picked in the draft is. I've heard some NFL GMs want Joe Milton to move to tight end, says Oregon Man. I mean, that's not all that unusual. There's been other quarterbacks, too, that have at one point or another been asked to play a different position. Tim Tebow, of course, he refused to do it until he got to Jacksonville, and then it was too late. He was washed up. But there's been a couple other QBs, too, that have been asked to change positions over the years. Glad McConkey has been floated as a late first-round pick. I'd be surprised. I think he's really good, and I think he'll be successful in the NFL if he winds up on the right team. But I'd be surprised if somebody went into the first round to get him. I don't know if I would draft a slot receiver in the first round. Is Tennessee ever good in football? Not this century, no. You got to go back to, you got to get an encyclopedia and look up last century's football stuff to find out, to find the last time Tennessee really meant anything. What's your opinion on Oklahoma? I think their defense is going to get absolutely destroyed in the SEC. I'm excited to play them again. It'll be a good game. I don't know about destroyed, but I mean, if their defense isn't way better than what it was last year, they're going to be a 6 or 7 win team. If they can get the defense improved and Jackson Arnold can stop turning the ball over, they could win 8, 9, 10 games. Is Tennessee fixing to be good in football for a while? No. I mean, I guess it depends what you mean by good. Are they going to make a bowl game? Yeah. But I don't know if you consider that good or not. All right, the pick is in, and of course the Bears did select Caleb Williams, quarterback from Southern Cal, 6'1", 214 pounds. Up next will be Washington. So Washington will have the second pick. So get your guesses in now. Who do you think Washington's going to take? They've got 10 minutes to get their pick in. Now about 9 minutes now to get their pick in. Do they go quarterback? Do they, Jaden Daniels, you think? I have Kentucky winning 10 games. Lou, your thoughts? Are you a betting person? Because I'd love to bet with you. I'll take under 10, and I'll give you 2-1 on your money. So no, because no, Kentucky's not winning 10 games. But if you'd like to make a bet on it, I'll offer you 2-1 on your money. Is Tennessee a good school for college athletes? I don't know what you mean. Brock ain't good enough to overcome Stoops' awful offensive system. Talking about Brock Vandagriff? Well, they got a new offensive coordinator there this year, don't they? What is more likely, Florida winning 7 games or Milroe learning how to throw? Milroe learning how to throw. Lou bet me Colorado wins a bowl. You think Colorado will win a bowl? I'll take that bet, because even if they make a bowl game, you have no clue who they're playing. So if you want to bet that Colorado will win a bowl game, yes, I'll make that bet. I will 100%. Because you don't even have any idea who they would wind up playing. So I don't know how you can confidently make that statement. That's kind of stupid on your part, actually, to make that bet. But of course, if you want to do it, I'll do it. I love taking stupid bets from people. Washington's still on the clock, about 5 minutes to go. Most of y'all seem to think they're going to take Jaden Daniels, the quarterback from LSU, Heisman Trophy winner. We'll find out here in just a few minutes. Keeping an eye on the basketball games, too. 2 NBA playoff games on right now. One comes on later tonight, but right now you got Cleveland and Orlando. Cleveland's up 2-0, but Orlando is all over them, 66-47. 67-47 now. Is that a 20-point lead? 20-point lead for Orlando at home over Cleveland. And the Knicks and the Sixers are also playing right now. Colorado is ass. Yeah, they're not very good. That's for sure. They're not very good. I've been hyping Colorado up for reaction, says Seth. So you're not really mentally retarded? You just pretend to be on the internet? That's cool. Jonah Chapman says, I remember walking on the beach when the Colts drafted the king of the underwear Olympics, Anthony Richardson. Yeah. Drafted him 4th overall. Tennessee peaked when they were ranked number 1 for 4 days. They were ranked number 1 for 7 days. But yeah. Colorado is the best team in Boulder. 34-33. The Knicks are up by 1 over the Sixers, so a good game there. 70-49 your score. Orlando up big over Cleveland. Coming up on 3 minutes to go now for Washington to get their pick in. Caleb Williams went number 1 overall to the Bears. Washington up with the number 2 pick now. Lou, did you hear any of the Christian Miller transfer news from yesterday? Yeah, but he's not transferring. Is that what you're talking about? He thought about transferring and now he's not? Is that what you mean? Y'all remember when the Colts didn't draft John Elway? I don't know if I was paying attention to the NFL draft back then, to be honest with you. So, no, I don't think I remember that. Is Nebraska ever going bowling in any year? Yeah, I think they will this year. Tennessee's been downhill since Georgia throttled them in Athens. Tennessee's been downhill since Y2K, dude. Colorado needs to focus on getting at least 2 more wins. Scott Schrader says that's true. If Colorado makes a bowl game, Travis, Shador, and Silo would sit out. I don't know about Shiloh. I don't think he's good enough to sit out, is he? Will Tennessee have a better secondary this year or worse? I couldn't tell you right now. Couldn't tell you. Tennessee fans should beat Florida first. Such high expectations. Brian Fennell, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. And Seth Wessinger, how's it going, Lou? Hope everything is good over your way. Yeah, everything's good here. All good here. Hit the like button. Yeah, JD Wick says hit the like button. That's a great idea. Make sure you hit the like button if you hadn't already. It's free, and it's a great way to help support the show. Will Ohio State and Oregon play each other 3 times this season? If I had to guess, I would say no just because of the odds involved, but it's possible. Lou, are delusional Clemson fans actually picking an upset in week 1 over UGA? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Huffer Billy Paul thinks Clemson's going to lose. He's a Clemson fan. Pigskin Pete thinks they're going to win. So I would say, I would assume, most fans think they're winning every game. So I would assume there's a lot of Clemson fans out there who think they can win. All right, the pick is in for Washington. So we'll see who they take. Caleb Williams went number 1 overall to the Bears. That was not a surprise at all. Washington has the number 2 pick. Most of y'all seem to think they're going to take Jaden Daniels, the quarterback from LSU, last year's Heisman winner. We'll see. We will see. And they did take Jaden Daniels, 6'4", 210 pounds, quarterback out of LSU. Goes number 2 overall to Washington. The Patriots are up next. It's weird seeing the Patriots draft this high because they were so good for so long with Belichick and Brady. Of course, they're both gone now, but it's weird to see the Patriots up this high in the draft. But the Patriots are on the clock, so get your guesses in. Which way do y'all think the Patriots are going to go? 4th round pick to 2nd overall is crazy, says G-Man. Scott Schrader says Drake May. Charlie Wood says Drake May. That would be the quarterback from North Carolina. I like Drake May. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's got a lot of potential. It was a shame that North Carolina kind of wasted him. North Carolina should have at least won the ACC once with Drake May at quarterback. That was disappointing. Chad Jordan says, I would lean Bowers. You think the Patriots should take Brock Bowers at 3? I don't think, I would never take a tight end 3 ever. If you're drafting 3rd overall, you're pretty bad. You got to have some needs that are more important than tight end. Skilled Ocean says J.J. McCarthy. Clemson can definitely beat UJ game 1, not necessarily saying they will. I'm necessarily saying they won't. So, yeah. Lou, tight end is critical in the NFL. Not as critical as left tackle, quarterback, defensive back, lockdown corner, pass rusher. I mean, on the list of what's critical in the NFL, tight end's about 7th or 8th on the list, which is why there's only been, one tight end ever drafted in the top 10? Is that right? And that was a stupid fucking pick made by guess who? The Falcons? J.J. McCarthy isn't as ready as Drake is. UJ can't score on Clemson. Okay. Travis Kelce changed the game in that manner. Well, Brady loved Gronk. Yeah, y'all are naming a bunch of tight ends who weren't drafted in the top 10. Lou, what are your thoughts on Norvell giving his players 13-0 unconquered rings for last year? I think they just should have left the record off. It's ridiculous to choose to play a game and then act like it didn't happen. It makes them look retarded. I think the state champs thing is kind of dumb too. This isn't high school. I mean, we don't have state champions in college. That's just ridiculous. State champs is something fans do on the internet when they're trash talking with each other. For a team to do it is piss fucking poor to have a ring for that. Getting a ring for there's nothing wrong with getting a ring for winning the ACC championship. I think a lot of teams and a lot of conferences do rings for conference championships. But either don't put the record on there or put your record on there. Don't just make up a record and put it on there. Kellen Winslow Jr. was drafted at 6 by the Browns. Did not work out well. Uncle Lou, I don't know if I've been around long enough, but did you destroyed a TV or two after a Georgia loss? Yeah, multiple times. Multiple times. You scalded me for bragging about conference. No, I didn't. I scolded you for bragging about regular season championships, you fucking retard. We don't celebrate regular season championships here. They don't mean anything. No one gives a fuck about the regular season. We don't crown an SEC champion after the 12th game. We play an SEC tournament, a 2-game tournament in football. In basketball, we play an SEC tournament. You dumbasses running around bragging about winning the regular season because you've only won the SEC tournament twice in the last 45 years is fucking sad. When's the last time you broke something over a Georgia game? 20. I think it might be all the way back in 2016. It was a long time ago. How do you feel about Georgia's new QB transfer? We talked about this earlier, but I mean, he's not going to play, but Georgia needed another quarterback. We only have 2 healthy scholarship quarterbacks, so they just needed a body. But he's not going to play, so it doesn't really, it's not going to have any impact on this season. New England took Drake May, by the way, 6'4", 223, quarterback out of North Carolina. The Cardinals on the clock now. So 3 picks, 3 quarterbacks. The Cardinals do not need a quarterback. They have Kyler Murray. So I don't know. Who's the Cardinals going to get? Marvin Harrison? Do they need somebody for Kyler Murray to throw the ball to? Marvin Harrison would make sense. Or if they want to go defense, maybe Dallas Turner. What do y'all think for the Cardinals? Marvin Harrison definitely gets drafted here. It would make sense, wouldn't it? He might be the best player in the draft. He's good when he's awake. Cleveland's down by 30? Holy shit. Oh, my God. Cleveland just gave up in this game. The Knicks are down 2, 44-42, so at least that's a close game. But Cleveland just rolled over and died here, 66-70. They're down 32 points in the third quarter. Why is Drake May going ahead of Michael Penix and Bo Nix? There's only ever one reason why any player goes higher than another player, and that's because the team that picks him likes him over the other players. So as far as Drake May is concerned, the Patriots like him more than those 2 guys you named. That's why he went ahead of them. How are the Mavs doing this year? The Dallas Mavericks, they're in the playoffs. They're doing all right. It's still the first round of the playoffs, so but they're doing all right. They're pretty good. They got real hot at the end of the year. You love Luka? Yeah, they got one of the best players in the league. Cardinals still on the clock. 3.5 minutes to go for them. This will be the 4th pick. 3 quarterbacks taken so far. I don't have a pick on the Stanley Cup. I haven't watched any hockey at all, so I don't have any idea. I would take Drake May over Penix or Nix. FSU is now a trivia question answer. Yeah, they've been reduced to that. That's a fact. All right, the pick is in for the Cardinals. We'll see what they do. A lot of y'all seem to think Marvin Harrison. That would make sense to me, and I think that would be a good pick. Lou, are you going to do grilling and chilling in July? Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Me and the lady, me and BA. $92-58. Orlando's about to double up Cleveland in this game. This is a beatdown. Does Napier survive long enough to coach against Vandy? I don't know when they play Vandy, so I don't know. How about them Atlanta Braves? Well, they didn't play today, and yesterday they shit the bed in the ninth inning. One thing I noticed in the UJ blog is FSU fans sure like to tell you how much they don't care about getting beat 63-3. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes number 4 overall to the Cardinals. 6'3", 209 pounds, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Considered one of the best wide receivers to come out of college in a while. So he'll be paired up with Kyler Murray out in Arizona. And the Chargers are on the clock now. This is the highest team that I've seen Brock Bowers' name attached to. I don't know that they'll draft him. Jim Harbaugh, of course, the coach now at the Chargers. But this is the highest I've seen Brock, for those of you that are waiting on Brock Bowers. This is the highest I've seen him in any mock drafts was to the Chargers. So we'll see. We got Malik Neighbors if they want a wide receiver. Joe Alt, considered probably the best offensive lineman in this year's draft, of course, is still on the board. So we'll see which way the Chargers want to go. What do y'all think the Chargers are going to do? Lou, the Braves won yesterday. Yeah, by 1. They're favored by 1.5. They were winning 3-1 in the ninth inning, and they gave up 5 straight hits in the ninth inning, and let the other team tie them up at 3. And then the Braves won by 1 run in the 10th inning, which does no good if you bet Atlanta minus 1.5. So the Braves fucking blew it. Fuck the Braves. D. Taylor, how have I been trolling? He mostly trolls himself, D. That big orange Vol guy. He mostly trolls himself. He doesn't realize it, but that's what he's doing. Chargers on the clock, 6 minutes until they have to have their pick in. Who do y'all think they're going to take? No telling. Chargers have 100 different needs, says Oregon Man. They trade down with the Vikings, and the Vikings take J.J. McCarthy, says Ballin' with AC. Lou got screwed on the run line. Yeah, I had Atlanta minus 1.5 yesterday. They were winning 3-1 in the ninth inning, gave up 5 straight hits in the ninth inning, tied it up. Let the fucking garbage-ass Marlins, the second worst team on the planet, tie them up at 3. And then the Braves won in the 10th inning, but only by 1 run. As a Tennessee fan, I wish he would be quiet. Hoghead says, I will be on midday show tomorrow at noon to talk about grilling and chilling. That's great news. Seth Wessinger says, you're asking rhetorical questions. I'm not asking, you must be asking somebody, talking to somebody else. Thoughts on Virginia Tech next year? I think they'll be better. I don't know that they're going to be, I mean, I know they're everybody's popular pick is like a sleeper in the ACC, and I do think they'll be a lot better, but I still don't think they can be consistently good enough to even make it to the ACC championship game, although they could. Their schedule is beneficial compared to some other schedules in the ACC, and they return a ton of production from last year's team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on unless it's OBS.